Howdy, this is Michael Martin Murphey, and this is the Lone Cowboy Hour, the show that is all about what you can do on your own. In my case, hopefully with one guitar or a banjo. I guess you could say our overall philosophical sponsor is the Bill of Rights. We live in a country which recognizes the importance of just one person at a time and what that one person at a time's rights are. I think that's great. I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'm on a rundown, I'm out running sundown, thinking I'm on the right track. I'm writing a song as I'm riding along, I'm keeping the sun at my back. Big horse trailer and truck, I can make my own luck, ride through the sand and the sage. It gives me a rush to be busting the brush and acting about half my age. Lone cowboy, I'm doing my best. Lone cowboy hour, I go everywhere west. Lone cowboy, with my old campfire songs. Lone cowboy, giddy up, get along. I've owned some good ponies, blacks, bays, and blue ronies, bays, palominos, and paints. I got good songs and bad ones, up songs and sad ones, songs about sinners and saints. I'm still riding old Wildfire to find the next campfire. Memories turn embers to coals. But at daylight I'm crying to live forever or die trying. I'll never get old in my soul. Lone cowboy, I'm doing my best. Lone cowboy, I go everywhere west. Lone cowboy, with my old campfire songs. Lone cowboy, giddy up, get along. Lone cowboy, lone cowboy, lone cowboy. Well, once again, if you just tuned in, this is Michael Martin Murphy, and this is the Lone Cowboy Hour. Well, we're finally getting back to doing some live shows, and this show is live tonight. No added special effects, no added background stuff or any videos included. It's just me and you. So feel free, though, to type in on your comments any requests that you might have. While I'm playing this next song, we'll determine which one of those requests I can remember. If you ask for something strange, I might not get to it. But we're in Cowtown right now, back at the Murphy Western Institute Library and Meeting Room. And here in Fort Worth, we're really excited right now because some great things are coming up in October, November, and December, and I'll be talking about that here pretty soon. Meanwhile, I'm going to do a song about autumn and fall. We're into October now. And up in the high country, where I also spend some time in the winter, mostly here in the winter, but I do get up there for cross-country skiing and hunting in the wintertime and the fall. We've already had some snow in the high country. So I'm also looking forward to those times when I'm going to be leaving Cowtown to go back up there a little bit. We've been broadcasting live from the Rockin' 3M Chuck Wagon for all summer long. Got there June 25th, and about to mid-September I finished it, and then I played some more shows in different places. Now it's time to take a break and lay up some firewood, and for me to do what I do best, which is absolutely nothing, sitting around staring in a fireplace. When you do absolutely nothing and stare in a fireplace, sometimes you start thinking of something. And I thought of this something, which is a song, while I was doing that. We're both the kind who can find peace of mind in the light of an old fireplace, wrapped in a blanket, talking the night away. Watching snow fall and the lone wolf is calling out into the endless space. There aren't many left like us these days, down where the city lights burn. I know we'll never return. Listen to the wind blow over the hills through whispering pines. Everything is free, and all that we see is yours and mine. Just you and me, and this old log house is all that we need. Hey, that's why they call us the Vanishing Bridge. It's good just knowing our love is growing, and we're gonna find a place in this life we've built with our own hands. Like wild horses running out under the sun, we're gonna find some space. There aren't many left like us these days. God's greatest gift to you and me is knowing how it feels to be free. Listen to the wind blow over the hills through whispering pines. Everything is free, and all that we see is yours and mine. Just you and me, and this old log house is all that we need. Hey, that's why they call us Vanishing Bridge. That's why they call us the Vanishing Bridge. That's why they call us the Vanishing Bridge. Actually, we're really not vanishing. We're just hard to see from the highway. Well, while I was playing that song, we had a request come in, and on the other side of the camera is the guy who produces the show in terms of doing camera work and doing audio, Dan McDonald. And he's looking at your requests and your comments and writing things down on a board where I can see them. And this is going to be for somebody named Reagan. Reagan, thank you for requesting this. You've got pretty good telepathy because I play that last song and the one before that in a special tuning I came up with called Lone Cowboy Tuning, which is a B tuning. And there's only one or two other songs that I actually play in that tuning, or wrote in that tuning. And this is one of them that you requested. So this is called Lost River. And the Lost River is about, when you maybe grow up in the city or spend a lot of time in the city, but you get out in the country and you realize that that little country town where you went to take a vacation is still there, and you go back and hopefully things haven't changed all that much. I know in the case of Red River, where I went when I was a kid, I went back many years later, and it really hadn't changed that much, and it hasn't changed much now. So when I get back up there for my 10th year this coming summer, 2021, well, I'll be back home again. Meanwhile, home is right here, and I'm just thinking of some memories that make me think of fall. And I guess maybe, Reagan, that's what you did. There's a lost river that flows in a valley where no one goes, where the wild waters rush, rumbles deep in the hush. Oh, I'm far from there now, Lord, I'll get back somehow to where the white water winds in the shadow of the pines. Whoa, lost river, now I'm coming back to the pot-belly stove where the firewood's all stacked. Come back, girl, go with me, I'm a belle, my fleur-de-lis, where the lost river winds in the shadow of the pine. Now everybody knows where that lost river flows. It's someplace that you've lost, behind the bridges that you crossed, and you'd like to return, but the bridges are all burned, and you're much too far down to return to higher ground. Whoa, lost river, now I'm coming back to the pot-belly stove where the firewood's all stacked. Come back, girl, go with me, I'm a belle, my fleur-de-lis, where the lost river winds in the shadow of the pine. Whoa, lost river, far over the ridge, now is it too late for me to build me a new bridge to the bright golden time when her love was still mine and the world was still wild like the heart of a child? Whoa, lost river, now I'm coming back to the pot-belly stove where the firewood's all stacked. Come back, girl, go with me, I'm a belle, my fleur-de-lis, where the lost river winds in the shadow of the pines, where the lost river winds in the shadow of the pines. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your request, Reagan. And we've had another several requests coming in, and one of the ones that are coming in right now happens to be another song that I wrote in this particular tuning. So this is working out great for me. So I don't have to sit here in front of the camera live and tune my guitar all the time and try to figure out what to say while I'm tuning. At least not until the next song from now. I guess I've had a love affair with being up in the pine forests all my life. Spent a good deal of my childhood in East Texas, where there's a lot of pines, and of course up where I spend my summers and a part of the winter in Red River, New Mexico, and in Colorado. There's a lot of pines there too. I wrote this song many years ago on the album that contained Wildfire, but as I often say, there were 11 other songs on that album, Blue Sky Night Thunder, besides Wildfire. And this became one of my best known hits, although Wildfire is probably my best known one. I actually wrote it for a girl named Caroline that I was with at the time. And it was our dream to leave Texas and go to Colorado, live in the high country. And that's exactly what we did. So although this is called Carolina in the Pines, it's not about North or South Carolina. Although those of you in North South Carolina, you could just pretend you didn't hear that. It could be about you too. But it's about a girl named Carolina and the excitement that we felt when we were young of getting up in the mountains and hiking. And I still have a love of hiking. As a matter of fact, week after next, I'll be climbing the highest peak in Texas. I've been training for that all summer, Guadalupe Peak. She came to me, said she knew me, said she'd known me a long time. And she spoke of being in love with every mountain she had climbed. And she talked of trails she'd walked up far above the timberline. From that night on, I knew I'd write songs for Carolina in the pines. There's a new moon on the 14th, first quarter the 21st, and the full moon in the last week brings a fullness to this earth. There's no guesswork in the clockwork of the world's heart or mind. There are nights I only feel right, Carolina in the pines. When the frost shows on the windows and the wood stove smokes and blows, as the fire grows, we will warm our souls, watching rainbows in the cold. And we'll talk of trails we walked up far above the timberline. There are nights I only feel right, Carolina in the pines. Yeah, Caroline the Pancho Hut, you never did tell me who requested those songs, right? We don't know. While I'm retuning, I'll just tell you folks a little bit of stuff that's happening in my life. We're really excited here in Cowtown, Fort Worth, Texas, because the National Finals Rodeo has moved this year from Las Vegas, where they hold that fantastic Super Bowl of rodeo, they sometimes call it, right here to Arlington, Texas, which is right next door to Fort Worth. And a lot of things that have to do with the National Finals Rodeo moving here are going to be going on in the stockyards right here in Fort Worth. And in my case, I'm going to be doing a whole series of Cowboy Christmas shows right here in this area. The ones I'm going to talk about tonight are the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and that's at the Arlington Music Hall, right next door to the stadium that they're going to hold that in. The stadium is the stadium the Texas Rangers play in. And there'll be 17,500 people there every night. And I understand right now tickets are already hard to get, and you kind of have to go to the resellers now to get tickets, but you can get them that way. And I sure hope you'll come on out to Texas to see the National Finals Rodeo. So many Texans that compete in rodeo anyway, and you'll always see a lot of Texans at the National Finals. So a lot of them will be home now this year. I'm just really thrilled about that. And that'll be at the Arlington Music Hall, right across or close to the theater. I think it's called the Global Life. Is that what it's called, Dan? The Global Life Center or Global Life Stadium, which is, again, a magnificent stadium that they just finished a couple of years ago where the Texas Rangers play ball. They'll have it all set up for a rodeo, of course. So I'm really excited about that, and hope you'll check out my website. You can get tickets to my Cowboy Christmas show at Arlington Music Hall by going to my website right now. So let's do a little bit of a cowboy song here in honor of the fact that the National Finals Rodeo is coming here. There is a great American hero that we all look up to. When the times are hard and the chips are down, he knows just what to do. The cowboy's got a set of rules that he lives by day to day. And if you ask for his advice, he'll more than likely say, if it's a fence, mend it. If it's a dollar bill, spend it before it burns a hole in your jeans. If it's a load, truck it. If it's a punch, duck it. If she's a lady, then treat her like a queen. That's cowboy logic. Every cowboy's got it. It's in the way he lives his life, songs he sings. That's cowboy logic. Every cowboy's got it. Got a simple solution, just about anything. If it's a job, do it. Hey, put your old back into it. 'Cause a little bit of dirt's gonna wash off in the rain. If it's a horse, ride it. If it hurts, hide it. Dust yourself off and get back on again. That's cowboy logic. Every cowboy's got it. It's in the way he lives his life, songs he sings. That's cowboy logic. Every cowboy's got it. Got a simple solution, just about anything. Yodelay, yodel-o, yodelay. All right, a little bit of cowboy logic there. And again, I did that because we got the National Finals Rodeo coming here. And while I sing this next request, I'm going to ask Dan to get that magazine that's right underneath that blue book on the coffee table here. It's the Smithsonian, because I got something to talk to people about that in a minute. And if you'll turn to the page in there about the, says on the cover about the poet Badger Clark, we'll talk about that. So here's another request that we got. And since I started talking about the rodeo, we're getting a bunch of cowboy song requests now. It's one of my favorites. Way up high in the Sierra Peaks for the yellow jack. Oh, this is for somebody, isn't it? Who's it for? For Cheyenne. God, good Western name. Cheyenne K. Wagner. Cheyenne and K. Wagner, or Cheyenne K. Wagner? All right, yeah. One person, three names.
College student from Ohio. He says the only college students that knows all your songs.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know about that, because I know some other college students that do, but he's a college student from Ohio. And a lot of people don't, but you know, Cheyenne, that a lot of people don't think of Ohio as really a western state where you'd have a lot of cowboy stuff. But there is a lot of cowboy stuff going on in Ohio. As a matter of fact, the largest quarter horse show in the world is the Quarter Horse Congress that happens in Ohio every year. I believe it's in Columbus. So, yeah, if you requested this song, you can bet I'm going to do it for you. Way up high in the Sierra Peaks where the yellow jack pines go tall, old Buster Jiggs and Sandy Bob had a roundup camp last fall. They'd taken their ponies and their running irons, maybe a dog or two, and they allowed to brand every long-eared calf that come within their view. Now many a long-eared doggy don't bush up by day had their old hide sizzled and their old ears whittled in a most artistic way. Sandy Bob, he said one day as he throwed his old cigar down, I'm tired of this cowography, by gosh, I'm going to town. Well, they saddled him up and they hit him a lope and there wasn't no sight of a ride. Them was the days that old cowboys could oil up their insides. Started out at the Kentuck Bar at the head of that whiskey road, and they wound up over in the depot house about 40 drinks below. Well, they set 'em up and they turned 'em around and they went the other way. I swear the God-forsaken truth, them boys is drunk that day. They saddled up and they headed for camp and they's packed in a pretty good load. Who should they meet but the devil himself come dancing down the road? Well, the devil said, you cowboy skunks, you better hunt your hole. I am the devil from hell's rimrock, gonna gather in your soul. Sandy Bob said, devil be damned, we boys is kind of tight, but you ain't gonna get in those cowboy souls without one hell of a fight. So he swung his rope and he swung it straight and he also swung it true. He caught the devil with a hula hand loop and taking his dallies too. Now Buster Jig was a Riata man with his rawhide coiled up knee. Shook it out, made a big old loop, and he lanced the devil's hind feet. Well, then they stretched him out and they tailed him down. Irons was a-getting hot. Cropped and forked his old ears, branded him up a lot. And they left him there in the Sierra Peak next to a black jack-oak. But before they done it, they tied a few knots in his tail just for a joke. So if you're ever up there in the Sierra Peaks and you hear one hell of a wail, that's just the old devil bellering about them knots tied in his tail. Whoa! That song right there was written by a great cowboy poet by the name of Gail Gardner. And Gail Gardner was present at the first cowboy poetry gathering in Elko, Nevada. I missed that one. I've gone to every one of them since then, since the second one. And it's been a great experience being a part of the Cowboy Poetry Gathering. It usually is held at the end of January. This year, of course, it's canceled like a lot of things like COVID. Too bad, but seems like the state of Nevada has been a little bit more strict about closing things down and keeping it apart. And of course, it is in the winter. Everybody has to be inside for that one. So we don't want to have anybody catching the crud, you know what I mean? Anyway, old Gail Gardner was from Arizona, up there around Prescott, and it said that he wrote that song about something we don't think about anymore, and that is that there was a lot of wrestling back in those days. And when you listen close to that song, he says, way up high in the Sierra Peaks, he really means the Sierra Peaks where the yellow jack pines go tall. Buster Jiggs and Sandy Bob had a roundup camp last fall, taking their opponents and their running irons and maybe a dog or two. Now, what's a running iron? A running iron is a straight piece of metal you put into the fire and you alter the brand. Or you put a brand on it if it's a Maverick that's never been rounded up before. So these guys were definitely rustling cattle, and that was punishable by hanging in some parts of Arizona back in the day. So they were taking a big chance in doing what they're doing, and that's why they ran into the devil out there on the Arizona plains in the desert, because he was there to punish them right on the spot. And but they were able to deal with the devil because he had horns, hooves, and a tail, and that's something that cowboys know how to deal with. Okay, let's see what else we got for requests here. Got Patrick Brown and Richard Holmes and Marlene Felton. Marlene, by the way, you watch every single week. I noticed the comments. Thank you so much, Marlene, for watching the show so many times and turning so many people onto it. So send it out to Patrick Brown, Richard Holmes, but in particular Marlene Felton requesting this song. Now, this song is very near and dear to me because it was the first song I ever got a royalty check for. First time I ever got paid any decent money at all to write a song. It was recorded by John Denver back in the days when I was a staff songwriter for a couple of publishing companies, Sparrow Music, and then right after that, Screen Gems Music. And when Denver recorded this song, he put it on several different albums, different versions of it, but it was also in the last performance he ever did before he died in the plane crash. He opened the show. If you go on YouTube, look up John Denver's last performance, you'll see him opening with this song. There's no amount of money or any kind of award that could make up for how I feel about that. John and I were friends. We went skiing together. I visited him at his house. I lived about 2 hours away from Aspen for a while, and we'd go over there and hang out there. And sometimes I'd play some gigs at the Opera House in Aspen, or a couple of the other concert type rooms there. John would always come. So anyway, this is for the memory of John Denver, and thank you, Marlene, and Patrick, and what was the other guy's name? Richard, for requesting it. Because he called the forest brother, because he called the earth his mother, they drove him out into the rain. And some people even said that the boy from the country was insane, because he spoke with fish in the creek. Tried to tell us that the animals can speak, and who knows, maybe they do, maybe they do. Hey, how do you know they don't? Just because they've never spoken to you. Boy from the country left his home, he was young. Boy from the country, he loves the sun. He tried to tell us that we should love the land. We just turned our heads and laughed. You see, we did not understand. But you know, sometimes I think the boy from the country must be the only one who sees. Because the boy from the country doesn't want to see the forest, he'd rather see the trees. Boy from the country left his home when he was young. Boy from the country, he loves the sun. Well, thank you guys for requesting Boy from the Country. One of my first songs. Wrote that song when I was in college, and that's been a long time ago. So again, thank you. Okay, we got some more requests, and I did intend tonight to do some songs about autumn. As you can see, my dear wife has put a few little pumpkins and squashes and stuff like that around here to kind of connote the fact that it is fall. Here in Texas, we don't have that many leaves turning yet, but pretty soon we will. And when that happens, we'll put some of those around here too as we go on through this fall concert series. Got some good news today. Coming up pretty soon, I'll be leading a trail ride over at NRS Ranch, which is up in Decatur, Texas, about 45 minutes. They're a beautiful ranch. All the leaves should be turned by then, and that'll be Thanksgiving weekend. On the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, you got Black Friday, then you got Happy Saturday, and beautiful Golden Sunday, and I'll be leading a trail ride for the Decatur Cowboy Church up there. Pastor Blasingame has asked me to do that. Be somewhere around noon. We'll be posting some information about that on the website pretty soon. And with luck, I'll bring my beautiful Palomino horse with me, I've always loved palominos. And when the aspens turn gold, the other trees turn gold and red, all those beautiful colors, that's when I love to mount up a palomino, go riding the trails. So I hope you'll come up with me. But this is not just for palominos, it's for any breed of horse. You can bring your own horse. That's at NRS Ranch in Decatur. And all you got to do is actually go on their website right now, NRS Ranch, and you'll find some information about it. I'm also going to do Thanksgiving up there, a special Thanksgiving concert on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll do the trail ride and another concert that night. So if you want to do your Thanksgiving outdoors in warm weather, then come on down from way up north or wherever you are. We'll be sending this out on our mailing list too. We have people from all over the country here on our mailing list. And by the way, you can get on that by simply looking at what we're going to be posting on Facebook here in the next couple of days, where you can get free music. I give you 3 free tracks when you sign up for our email newsletter. Anyway, I wrote this quite a while back in New Mexico, about this time of year. And now the fire is burning low, turning red and gold. September images, remember, keep out rain and cold. Rode across the Golden Range, through fallow fields of haze. Rode our golden ponies through those palomino days. Amber skies, topaz eyes, eagles on the wing, reflected in your eyes when I gave you a shining ring. The sun flashed on my golden spurs, the fiery aspen blaze. What I would give once more to live those palomino days. Everything's golden in gold dust in the streams. Golden horses, river courses were swift like fading dreams. We were running down the sun through fiery aspen blaze. Rode our golden ponies through those palomino days. What I would give once more to live those palomino days. Yeah, I hope you'll bring your horse of any color and come and appreciate the golden leaves and, of course, the beautiful red leaves that we have here in Texas when the oaks turn out at NRS Ranch. The whole purpose of that ride is to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're going to have some of our Native American friends there, just like they did on the first Thanksgiving. So it should be a great weekend, in particular as you ride your horse through all those great fall colors. Dan, if you would look on your calendar over there, maybe you could tell me what that date is. I think that Sunday is the 29th. And I think that's going to be pretty close to the full moon. Am I right about that? Yeah. Indicator? Yeah. 28th is a Saturday. The 29th is the day of the trail ride. So if you come for the trail ride's free, by the way. But you got to contact Decatur Cowboy Church to get in on that. And then stick around and come to the concert if you feel like it. So let's see what else we got here for some requests. Many compliments on my hat. Thank you. I got this hat from the American Hat Company right here in Fort Worth, Texas. I really appreciate them being our sponsor. They do such a great job. And this is called a Buckaroo flat hat. I wear a lot of different styles of hats here because we have people who support our music from all over the country, different styles of cowboy hats, different styles of dress. Tonight we're kind of honoring the Buckaroo tradition, and this is a real Buckaroo type hat. They wear a big wide brim flat hat out there in Nevada and western Colorado, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, Nevada. They like these big flat hats because it protects their face from your skin getting all dried up, and I have really fair skin, so I have to be careful about that. And thanks again, American Hat Company, for being our sponsor. We really appreciate you. We'll be wearing different kinds of cowboy hats as time goes on here to honor the different kinds of cowboys and cowgirls who watch this show. Now I'm going to sing a song that means a whole lot to me. This is if you want to hand me that magazine now, I'll talk about it. This song was written by a cowboy poet named Badger Clark. He is from South Dakota. And in the Smithsonian Magazine of just a couple months ago is this article. See, can you look on there? Don't have my glasses on. What issue is it of Smithsonian Magazine? It's an article about this cowboy poet who wrote this song. And his name was Badger Clark. He was from South Dakota. But back in the day, he moved to down around Sonora, Mexico. And he met a beautiful Mexican girl there, fell in love with her. It was the time of Pancho Villa, and he had to leave Mexico, and he always remembered her. Anyway, the Smithsonian Magazine has this great article about it. You can't see a date on there. It should be on the cover. Right on the cover. Yeah. It's ironically, it's the one about Nero. It's the issue about Nero. You see the month? Okay, Smithsonian. October 2020. So it's the October issue, month that we're in. Anyway, there's a great article about Badger Clark being one of the first cowboy poets. This song was written, early 20th century, late 19th century. And it's probably my favorite cowboy love song ever. Thanks for requesting it. Oh, here. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but you might get it closer to the camera, Dan, but that's a picture of Badger Clark right there. And up in the Custer State Park in South Dakota, there is a little cabin where he lived, and you can go up there anytime that the park is open, and I think it's probably still open here in the fall. You can go in and visit that little cabin. I've sung this song on the front porch of Badger Clark's cabin, and it really means a lot to me. By the way, the Smithsonian now has a lot of recordings of that were made early on of people like Badger Clark for sale, in some of my music too, and some of the other cowboy singers, particularly my solo acoustic albums like what I'm doing tonight. You'll find for sale at the Smithsonian on a label that just got sold to the Smithsonian Folkways Records. That label was Cowboy Jubilee Records, Western Jubilee Records. Go on the Smithsonian's website and search Michael Murphey, or Michael Martin Murphey, Murphey, and you'll see where you can buy some of my Lone Cowboy albums directly from the Smithsonian. And we sell them too, but I really like to support the Smithsonian. I just think they do such a great job. Really admire that great institution. And I'm a history buff anyway. Spanish is the loving tongue, soft as springtime, light as spray. There was a girl I learned it from, living down Sonora way. Now I don't look much like a lover, yet I say her love word's over. Late at night when I'm all alone, mi amor, mi corazón. There were nights when I would ride, she would listen for my spurs, fling that big door open wide, raise those laughing eyes of hers. How those hours would get to flying. Pretty soon you'd hear her crying, please don't leave me all alone. Mi amor, mi corazón. Then one time I had to fly, got myself into a foolish gambling fight. Had to say a swift goodbye. In that black, unlucky night. All the way to Santa Fe, her words kept ringing in every hoofbeat. I could hear her saying, please don't leave me all alone. Mi amor, mi corazón. I've never seen her since that night can't cross the border, you know. She is Mexican and I am white. Like as not, it's better so. And yet I've always sort of missed her since that very first night I kissed her. I left her heart, I lost my own. Adios, mi corazón. And that is dedicated to, I believe, Pamela Farrington from Louisiana, who was displaced by the recent hurricane out there. We just seem to keep having these horrible hurricanes. Thank the Lord that one wasn't quite as bad as some of the previous ones we've had, but when you're displaced from your home, that's about as bad as it gets. So, Pamela, our heart goes out to you. Our prayers go out to all you people that are dealing with the fallout of the recent hurricanes. Well, it's getting to be about time for the Lone Cowboy show to be over, so I go to my farewell song, which is Wildfire, and we may go a little bit overtime here on this, but I want to read a poem. This is from J. Frank Dobie, who wrote the book The Mustangs, and recently I've been thinking a lot about wild horses. And, we do have a program with Murphey Western Institute, my nonprofit foundation, where we round up wild horses and give them to Native American kids. That's run by the Kana Foundation, and it's just a program that we support financially. So a part of what you send in tonight in the form of a donation will go to that organization, Kana Foundation, which is headed up by Moses Brings Plenty, the star of Yellowstone, which, by the way, have you heard Yellowstone is moving part of its shooting to right here in Texas? Guthrie, Texas, coming up here pretty soon. Anyway, this is how J. Frank Dobie ends his book, The Mustangs. I see them running from the Spanish caballadas to be free, from the Mustangers' rope and rifle to keep free. Overseas of pristine grass like fire dancers on a mountain, like lightning playing against the unapproachable horizon. I see them standing, sentinels of alertness in eye and nostril. Every toss of mane, neck, a Grecian grace, every high snort, bugling out the pride of the free. And I see them vanishing, vanished. The sea of grass shriveled to pins of barbed wire property. The wind racers and wind drinkers bred into property also. But winds still blow free, and grass still greens, and the core of that something which men live on believing is always freedom. So sometimes yet, in the realities of silence and solitude, for a few people unhampered a while by things, the Mustangs walk out with dawn, stand high, then sweep away, wild with sheer life, and free from all confines of time and flesh. Folks, there it is, The Mustangs by J. Frank Dobie, written in the 1930s. And I believe you can still get it through the University of Texas Press, where he was a professor. This is all the legends and all the stories about Mustangs. Little Brown and Company in Boston published it the first time, but it's been reprinted many times by University of Texas Press and other presses that deal with anything in Western heritage. I see here, original copyright is 1934, so that poem that I just read you is 1934. The whole book deals with the fact that there were wild horses in the West that held almost a magical status. In fact, it was a spiritual magical status for Native Americans. And this is one of the legends about how a horse would come back and take somebody away from their problems, save them from their sorrows, and carry them away. You might say it's a kind of a metaphor for what Jesus stands for in the Bible. Salvation and being caught up in the air and being taken away. And ironically, in the book of Revelation, it does say that Jesus, when he comes back, is coming back on a white stallion. So regardless of what you think about that, or the truth of that story, I think it is really significant that one of the largest religions in the world, Christianity, holds horses that dear, and that Jesus will be riding one of those spiritual magnificent stallions when he comes back. Here's to the spirit of old J. Frank Dobie, who wrote that poem, wrote so many great Western books. She comes down from Yellow Mountain on a dark flat land she rides, on a pony she named Wildfire. Whirlwind by your side on a cold Nebraska night. Oh, they say she died one winter when there came the killing frost, and the pony she named Wildfire busted down his stall. In a blizzard he was lost. He ran calling wildfire, calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. So by the dark of the moon I planted, but there came an early snow. Been a hoot owl howling outside my window now, 6 nights in a row. She's coming for me, I know, and on Wildfire we're both gonna go. We'll be riding wildfire, riding wildfire, riding wildfire, on wildfire. We're gonna ride, gonna leave, side busting behind, get the hard times right on out of our minds. We'll be riding wildfire, Folks, this has been the Cowboy Hour. I'm Michael Martin Murphy. That's my song, Wildfire. I'd like to send you a free download of that song and some other songs about horses. Go to writingwildfire.com. Just go to writingwildfire.com. Good night.